Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. Rabbis rahli sadri wa yassirli amri, wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Respected elders and my beloved brothers and sisters in Indonesian Muslim community in Kagari, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And Jummah Mubarak. Inshallah, we will continue our reading of Surah Yusuf. Inshallah, today we are going to cover verses number 6 and number 7. Inshallah. Before we start, let's read the ayat together, inshallah. Okay, everybody can see my screen, inshallah. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. وَكَذَلِكَ يَجْتَبِيكَ رَبُّكَ وَيُعَلِّمُكَ مِنْ تَأْوِيلِ الْأَحَادِيثِ وَيُتِمُّ نِعْمَتَهُ عَلَيْكَ وَعَلَى آلِ يَعْقُوبَ كَمَا أَتَمَّهَا عَلَى أَبَوَيْكَ min qablu Ibrahim wa Ishaq inna rabbaka alimun hakim. Laqad kana fi Yusuf wa ikhwatihi ayatul lisailin. Sadaqallahul azim. Let's break down the ayah word by word, inshallah, brothers and sisters in Islam. The first is related to wakadzalika. Yeah. In general, the Mufassirun have two opinions regarding what this refers to, what this wakadzalika refers to. Yeah. The first opinion is that it refers to the dream itself, that the dream that Yusuf had, so it refers to that, and that Yusuf is elevated, yeah, based on the dream. Yusuf is elevated over his brothers and also his parents. That's the first opinion. The second opinion of Wakadzalika is related to the fact that Yusuf not telling his brothers regarding his dream, because as we can see in later verses that Yusuf will be left behind in a well, yeah, by his brothers, right? Because they have envy to Yusuf, yeah. So it could have been worse, yeah. If he told this his dream, yeah. So had he told his dream, it could have been worse than that. But Yusuf followed his father's advice not to tell them. So his brother, as we can see in the later verses, didn't kill him, didn't harm him in a way. They just left him in a well. Yeah, knowing that one caravan will always pass by and will likely find him and save him. Yeah, and take him to somewhere else, right? So at least not killed. Yeah, that's basically what wakadzalika, yeah, the first word mean, yeah, or refers to rather, yeah. So wakadzalika yatstabika rabbuka, yeah. So thus your Lord will choose you, yeah. Wakadzalika yatstabika, so your Lord Allah Subhanahu wa Taala will choose you, and thus we explained to you just now what it means. There are two opinions. Yeah, your Lord choose you. Wa yu'allimuk, yeah, and teach you min ta'wil ahadith. Yeah, so wa yu'allim means Allah Subhanahu wa Taala teach you min ta'wilil ahadith. So majority of the mufassirun choose to translate or to interpret ta'wil ahadith as interpretation of dream. Yeah. However, in our reference, yeah, this book, yeah, the author Luai Fatuhi explained that, well, yes, majority interpret it as such, interpretation of dream. But in this, he maintained that it's actually not interpretation of dream, because somewhere in Surah Yusuf, verses number 44, if I'm not mistaken, that there is this word is again is used, yeah. But as opposed to ta'wil ahadith, it's used. The word that is used in later ayah is ta'wil ahlam, yeah, ta'wil al-ahlam, yeah. So it which means reinterpretation of dream, because you probably find later on that the king, the Aziz of Egypt, dream something and doesn't say ta'wil ahadith, but ta'wil al-ahlam, yeah. So here this the author in this book, yeah, argue that it should translate to, or it should be interpreted as ta'wil ahadith as interpretation of speech or event, yeah, as well, yeah. So it's more general than just dream, okay, because if it's generic just dream, it would have been ta'wil al-ahlam, just like in the later verse of Surah Yusuf. Okay, so min also here, min ta'wil, min means from, yeah, meaning that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, first of all, the point here, the first point is that it's Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala who teach people the interpretation of dream, yeah. So in general, Islam, especially Sunni Islam, or things that every knowledge can be learned, yeah. Our the first ayah is Iqra. We need to read, we need to learn, we need to observe. Everything can be learned, but there are exceptions. There are things that cannot be learned. It's only given by Allah. And interpretation of dream or interpretation of ahadith, of speech or event in general, is one of them. Yes, so that's why you alimuk, yeah, here, and Allah teach you, yeah, mean from ta'wil al-ahadith. Mean here used because it's not everything, some here of that knowledge, right? Then the next one, wa yutimmu ni'matah, yeah, and we perfect our favor to you. Wa yutimmu ni'matah. Yutimmu, yeah. Indonesia we use the word tamat, right? So complete, yeah. Nikmah, favor. Nikmah, yeah. So what are these nikmah? What are these favor that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala gives Yusuf, right? First of all, of course, he gets this dream that he is elevated over his brothers and also his parents. Yeah, his parent is Yaqub and his mother is Rachel, who died already at the time of this ayah, or at the time of this story. Yeah, Yusuf was 7 years old. Yeah, and his mother passed away when, as we mentioned in previous session, during the childbirth of his brother, Yusuf brother Benjamin. Yeah. So first of all, the nikmah is the dream itself. Yeah, that he will be in from the dream itself. He is going to be elevated over his brother and also his parent. Second, of course, this ta'wil ahadith. Yeah. He's given this ilm, he's given this knowledge, right? That's second. The third, there is a hadith in Rasulullah SAW that Yusuf is given half of beauty. So you can imagine that if beauty is a circle, you divide the circle into two. One half, yeah, of the beauty goes to Yusuf, and the other half for all these billion of people in the world. Right? So you can imagine how beautiful Yusuf is, right? So that's one. And of course, he is a prophet, right? So that's also a favor, a bounty from Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And of course, the final one is the Jannah. As a prophet, he's going to Jannah, yeah, so to paradise. So that's the ultimate ni'mah, all right? So, wa yutimma ni'matahu alaik, yeah, we perfected, yeah, actually it's not really perfected, probably we complete, yeah, that's probably a better interpretation. Wa yutimmu ni'mahu alaik wa ala ali Yaqub, and again here Yusuf is mentioned to you and to the Ali Yaqub, meaning the brothers of Yusuf. Yeah, Ali Yaqub is the family of Yaqub, in this case, the brothers of Yusuf. And if you say that, Yusuf is part of the Ali Yaqub as well, of course, right? But Yusuf is, mentioned as alone here, to you and the brother of and your brother, yeah, the family of Yaqub. While Yusuf is also a family of Yaqub, it means that the position of Yusuf, is so high, yeah, that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala mentioned him first to you and the family of Yaqub, while he is also a family of Yaqub. So to signify the importance of Yusuf. Kama atammaha, yeah, kama atammaha. All right. So kama atammaha means like we, or in this case, perfected or complete the nikmah to your fathers, abawaika, before you, min qablu, Ibrahim and Ishaq. But we know that Ibrahim and Ishaq is not his father, is his grandfather, right? But in this case, we can, the word father is used. And this actually one of the ayah, one of the, part of the ayah that some people use, yeah, when deriving the rule for inheritance. So if someone died, right, but his father already died, but his grandfather still there, right? So according to this ayah, because the grandfather can also be considered, or is also referred to here as a father, yeah, I mean Ishaq is Yusuf's grandfather and Ibrahim is Yusuf's grandfather, right? So this is the part of the ayah that some people use, yeah, some faqih use to derive that, yes, if someone died, his father already died, but his grandfather still alive, then the grandfather will accrue the inheritance that the grandfather rather will get the inheritance that normally accrue for his father. All right. And then inna rabbaka alimun hakim. Yeah, here truly your Lord. Yeah, rabbaka alim, knowing, and hakim. Yeah, so alim mean know. So it's as if Allah Subhanahu wa Taala says, truly your Lord knows. I know what I'm doing, right? That's what he Subhanahu wa Taala says. Alim and Hakim. Hakim here can have two meanings according to Mufassirun. First is hikam, mean wisdom, and hukum, mean judgment, right? So not only that it is wise, but it's also a hukum, yeah, a judgment, a final judgment in this case. So as we later on will read about the story of Yusuf, many tribulation, but be sure that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala know what He's doing, and He's wise, and His decision is the judgment, is the final judgment. That's why He used Subhanahu wa Taala His name Alimun Hakimun. Yeah, that's the reason. There's one more point, yeah, very short. In this book, our reference, there is also an explanation regarding Ali Yaqub. It's in other ayah, yeah, in the Quran is referred to as the Asbat, yeah, the Asbat. In this case, the brother of Yusuf, and majority of the Mufassirun, including the author of this book, mentioned that the Asbat mean this brother of Yusuf are all prophet. Yeah. So there's a question: how come if they are prophet, how come they do this terrible thing to Yusuf? Well, the Mufassirun explain it in such a way that they were prophet at the later time. Yeah. So when this event took place, they were still not a prophet. But as we will see in the story of Yusuf, they will become a better person at the later age of their life. All right. So that's ayah number 6. And then ayah number 7, inshallah, the final ayat for today. Yeah, laqad kana, truly. Yeah, in fact, is surely and truly. Yeah, because there are two there, la and qad. Yeah, laqad kana. Yeah, so truly in Yusuf and his brother, in this case, the story of Yusuf and brother, right? There is a sign. Ayatun, yeah, is ayah is sign, right? A sign or lessons, right? Lisa ilin, yeah, to or for people who ask. So let's take care this the word ask here. So if you notice, right, the word ask is the first step, right? The first step before we even contemplate or think about or something. The first is to ask. So meaning that in this the Mufassirun interpreted that, you know what, in this story of Yusuf, it's so clear the lesson, right? You all you need is to ask. Yeah, you don't need, you know, there are many things that you can only understand once you contemplate or once you take a thing thoroughly. But here you just need to ask, and you get the answer. So as we said in the previous session, right, in the Quran, mubin, right, clear. Yes, there are things that you need to learn to understand the Quran. But there are things in the Quran, the necessarily known, the things that needed to live our life by are so clear. Yeah. So that's why here, this lesson of Yusuf on his brother is so clear. All you need is just ask, right? And you will get it. Okay. So that's the lisailin. Why Allah used the word lisailin? Because in other part of the Quran, sometimes those who tafakur, yeah, the contemplate, to think about, yeah, tadabur. But here is sailin, right? So it's so clear. Next, the final point for today is the ayah, right? The sign or the lesson, right? So as we mentioned in previous session, in the first session, I suppose, yeah, that the revelation of this surah, Surah Yusuf, is during the difficult years of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, right? So the first lesson of Surah Yusuf, the Mufassirun said there are at least three, right? The first lesson is to console, to comfort the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He was having hard time, he was having a difficult time of his life, and Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala console him. Look, Yusuf also experienced the difficulty, right? So be patient. I'm sure, and we believe that Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is patient, yeah. But Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, sorry, want to comfort him. All right. So that's the first lesson, yeah. The first sign, the first lesson from the surah. The second lesson is related to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala power, the kudrah of Allah and His sunnah, the way He deals with His servant, right? So He knows. We said earlier, right? He's alim. He knows everything. He's the most knowing, yeah. And also the wise. That's His sunnah. He knows, and what He knows, and His act is full of wisdom, and His final judge and His what He does is the final judgment. Okay, so that's the second lesson from Surah Yusuf. And the third one is the moral story that we all of us can take from Surah Yusuf, right? One of the imam in Kagari Southwest Masjid, right, explained this, that you know, he learned it from his teacher, and of course I learned it from him, right? He said that the Surah Yusuf is the story of three serfs, right? Okay, so this is the one of the learning. The first serf is the serf that the use of Yusuf when he was a child, when he was left by his brother in the well, right? So that serf with blood given to his father when Yusuf was tried by his brother, right? By the deed of his brother. That's the first serf, right? The tribulation, the first tribulation of Yusuf. The second is this, the search where it was during the event between Yusuf and Siti Julaiha, the wife of the Aziz of Egypt, right? So the wife told or Siti Zulaikha tore the shirt Yusuf from the back, and that event led to Yusuf being imprisoned for 13 years. He didn't commit any mistake, but he stayed. Allah tested him in the prison for 13 years. That's the second shirt. The last shirt is the shirt when Yusuf was the minister of finance, let's say, of Egypt, right? Of Egypt, and then his shirt is given to his brothers to be sent to his father, and with that shirt, the sight of Yaqub was restored, right? So he had some issue with his eyes because he was so sad of Yusuf. He's not blind; he wasn't blind, but he is just like a cataract, I suppose, in modern day, right? But then when he got the shirt of Yusuf, his because of he was heavy, his sight was restored. Now, so 2 tribulation, 1 bounty from Allah. So sometimes we are not patient. We always want to get the last one, go straight to the 3rd shirt. But actually, we need to be patient. Sometimes to get to the 3rd shirt, you need to go through the first 2 shirts, right? Okay, that's it. Our session for today. Inshallah, all the truth come from Allah. All the mistakes come from me, and my humble apology for that. Barakallahu fikum wa afu minkum. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.